I'm Sean Smith. This is Sean Smith Photos, where I edit street photography and occasional travel photos with On1 Photo Raw. So I uploaded a new video today, and while it was rendering, I checked my email, and surprise, surprise, there's a new update for On1 that's included if you've purchased it. So we're getting On1 Photo Raw 2023.1. This is going to address a number of bugs, and the big news that I really like is that it's returning the old quick AI mask tool, the one where you draw the red lines or the green lines to drop or keep portions of your photo. I really miss that. While I like the new AI masking tools, I find that they didn't always work. Although the photo that I was editing in the video that I uploaded earlier today, the new AI masking tools worked great, and you can watch that. If I can figure out how to add a card at the right point, it should be linking above. All right, so what else do we get in the new On1 Photo Raw? We get video card fixes. And if you're on the trial has been extended by 14 days because, you know, there was a lot of people who were struggling with their video cards and the minimum requirements and things like that. So there's a whole bunch of bug fixes. And if you look on the screen, you can see here a list of all the fixes. So return of original quick mask, added at heads-up display when search is active, fix this, fix that, fixed. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that has been fixed, and I'm sure that many users will find that their On1 experience is much better. I really like that we got a very quick response from On1, listening to the community and the issues they've had. Now, I personally, in the 4.5–5 years that I've been using On1, have not had any problems except for user error. So that would be stupid things that I did or forgot or whatever. So while I understand frustrations that some people had, I think that, you know, a little bit of patience was worth it, because On1 did respond quickly. Within a couple of weeks, they got the biggest bug fixes, and they returned the quick AI mask tool, which I really like. And what I want to do is edit this photo from my weekend trip that I took down into the US yesterday, or this past weekend with my wife. We went to Watkins Glen State Park, and there's this beautiful gorge with a whole series of waterfalls that you can walk through, and this is one of the shots that I took. And I'm going to edit this shot, and I suspect that the old quick mask AI tool will be a little bit better for what I intend to do, assuming it works out. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also find me on Instagram, Vero, and my website, seansmith.net. Links in the description below. Let's get to it. All right, so we'll jump into edit. And we're going to jump into edit. And first thing I always do is check the camera profile, see how it looks. Yeah, I'm not really liking the landscape. Seems to get a little crunchy and washed out. Portrait, yeah. Okay, vivid seems okay. On1 neutral, camera portrait, camera vivid. Actually, camera vivid or On1 vivid. I'm going to go with camera vivid today. Kind of like this. Okay, so yeah, I'm not really a big landscape photographer, but I took a lot of landscapes while I was out this weekend. Didn't have a lot of opportunity for street photography, so this is the one we're going to go with. And yeah, I'm gonna hook in here a little bit, and yeah, I think there's a little bit of noise up here, so why don't we go into the noise and sharpening and hit no noise AI. And okay, so that no fit. Zoom in. Yeah, there's a lot of artifacts, even with no noise AI. I mean, it's obviously sharper. So why don't we turn down micro sharpening? What if I just go to classic? And okay, so this is not, I'm not really familiar with the noise reduction in the old version either. It was something I never really played with, but I'm really trying to focus on upping my On1 game. Although the focus of this video is not noise reduction, so I think it's a little noisy in the shadows here. I think I'm going to be okay. Detail, threshold, yeah, I'm just going to leave this alone, and we will go back into tone and color and AI match. AI auto. Now, I think AI match is closest, and we're going to pull back the shadows a little bit more, pull back the midtones, or pull up the midtones, reduce the highlights, reduce the exposure back to closer where it was. I think that's okay. All right, let's try a little dynamic contrast. Crunch contrast, no. Texture enhancer, because we've got a lot of texture in these rocks, so we'll go with the texture enhancer. And off and on. I like what that's doing, but I kind of want to reduce what's happening up here in the foliage and where the sun is coming in. So this is where we're going to use our mask, and I suspect that the new AI masking is not going to work because everything is basically natural ground or foliage, and it's like everywhere. Let's see how that works, and if I'm correct, I am going to be switching to the old way of doing it, but let's see. So architecture, architecture, it got just that bridge over here. If you watch when I hover over that, we get the bridge. Flora, it doesn't even cover all the grass along the top. Natural ground doesn't cover everything. Two-thirds of the cliff face is water. I don't know. There's a little bit of water dripping here, but this is definitely not water in the shade. And mountain, yeah, okay, I give it mountain, but it's really spotty about what is good here. And this is why I wanted to use the Quick AI Mask tool from 2022. I'm not sure which version that came out in, but we're going to click that tool. And I don't need this little pop-up. And I'm going to go to drop, and I'm going to draw some red lines. So red lines. Actually, I'm doing this backwards. I should have done keep, but that's okay. I'm going to drop all of this, and then I'll invert it and keep this part down here. So let's go to keep, and we want to, this is the part we're going to mask out. So I'm kind of doing it backwards, as I said. And let's go to drop again, and we'll just draw another line here. Just get all along everywhere and apply. And this did exactly what I wanted, except for it missed this little spot here, but we're still in the masking mode. So what I can do is switch to keep and drop a green circle and apply. And it's basically got it. Okay, so I'm going to hit done. And it creates my mask for me. We can see that in the thumbnail. I'm going to invert the mask. And now my dynamic contrast has been added everywhere that I wanted it. And it was much easier than manually masking. And it worked much better than the new content aware AI masking. I think that's what it's called. You could see that, you know, there was lots of errors, or not errors, but the mask couldn't recognize what is in this photo. And I think it really is dependent on the content of each photo, because the photo that I did in my earlier video today, where I was editing a small town shot with a car in it, and I masked out the car, it got the car perfectly, or almost perfectly. Here, it didn't work. So anyways, I added dynamic contrast here, and I'm going to copy this mask, and this time I'm going to tone enhancer, mask, and I'm going to paste the mask. No, whoops. I'll reset. I'm doing that for all of the... how do I close this? All right, I've accidentally opened the opacity for all effects, so I don't want to touch that. What I wanted to touch, or get on, was the tone enhancer mask, and paste in our mask and invert it, because I want to affect this. I want to darken this up a little bit. So I'm going to mid-tones darker. Actually, let's check. There's just a darker one, right? Darker, or mid-tones darker, or highlights darker. No, I'm going to go with just darker in general. I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm going to pull down the exposure just a little bit, up the contrast a little bit more. And yeah, this is a much better improvement over the old photo. Here's the original, and this is where we're at now. Although, maybe I'm going to reduce this dynamic contrast a little bit. Let's pull back the opacity all the way back. Yeah, I think there, that's better. It's a little bit too crunchy when I had it at full strength. Okay, so this tone enhancer, we did that, and I think we should pull in a sun flare and position it over here, coming through like this. So I'm going to turn this off, and yeah, this is the original photo unedited, and we can see there's a lot of light coming in here, and that's what I want to kind of replicate with the sun flare. So I'm going to turn the sun flare on, and sun flare down there. That's, oh yeah, even just the first option, that is really, really, really nice. Okay, so sunflare 11. Let's look at the different options. Where was that? Was number 11, and then we had a 12. No, 12 doesn't work. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this 11. Sunflare down, and let's reduce the amount a little bit. Oh, that's just moving it left and right. Oh no, that's rotating it. Fit to canvas, turn that off. I don't think that made a difference. Sunshine amount. Yeah, that's too much. Where was it? Okay, so that's kind of where it was before. We want this warmer. Keep the saturation where it was and hit the fade. No, we don't want it to fade. Yeah, okay, so I think that really made that a lot nicer, but I'm going to reduce the opacity a little bit more. There we go. It's not so intense. And before and after. A little bit more. Before and after. Yeah, that is looking good. Again, I'm not a landscape photographer, so I'm kind of experimenting and playing with this as I do it. Let's see, what else can we do here? Let's add oh yeah, of course we're going to add a vignette. Let's try the subtle one. Let's go with the Big Softy. Really like Big Softy usually. Yeah, Big Softy's pretty nice. I think I'm just going to leave the Big Softy as it is this time. And yeah, before, pretty good. After, ooh, you know what I think I need to do here is I need to do a color enhancer on the greens. So let's add a color enhancer and we'll hit foliage. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. And we're gonna up the saturation just a, actually no, we'll drop the saturation and up the vibrance just a little bit. And this is protecting highlights. I'm going to ramp it all the way up, ramp it back, ramp the shadows up, ramp the shadows back. Okay, actually I'm going to keep that where it is. And where's the brightness? Let's pull the brightness down on the foliage just a little bit more. There we go. And we can turn this on, or it was off and on, off and on. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. Now I'm wondering if I should remove the other visitors to the park. I kind of like that they're there because it, you know, it's how it is when you visit, and it wasn't terribly busy when I was there. So what I'm going to do before I remove these people is I'm going to take a quick snapshot. So I can go back and we'll call this before people removal. I can't seem to type today. Before people removal. And let's nav in a little bit. Okay, so retouch tool and healing brush, perfect eraser. Let's get rid of this group. Beautiful, gone. Get rid of this person. No, undo that. We messed up the banister. So I think we'll zoom in a little bit more and okay, I did a good job there. And there. Okay, and let's fit. And if you're zoomed in really tight, you can notice that on the banister, and I could probably spend some more time cleaning that up, but I'm not planning on printing this shot, and most people are just going to view it on Facebook or Instagram, so they're not going to notice that. And I am going to once again, I'm going to zoom in and get rid of this person right here. We'll do this in 2 sweeps. Or 3. There we go. It's not perfect. Again, same thing. There's a little bit there that you can see, but in reality, nobody's going to notice that, especially when we're at full out. Now, I suspect that these people here in the rain are going to be a little bit harder to remove. So instead of starting with the easier group, I'm going to try them. And if it does work, great, I'll remove them. And if it turns out to be a little bit trouble, then I'm just going to keep them in there. And we got rid of some of the distractions along the staircase and the bridge. So let's try this same brush again. And we'll go with this group of 3. Actually, that did remarkably well. And we'll go again. And there we go. And one last one, because I missed a bit of the person's head. Remarkably well. I didn't need to use the healing brush or the clone brush or any of the other stuff. That just worked great. Okay. I'll make another snapshot. And we'll call this one removed tourists. So I can swap between them if I want. That's the video. So before and after. Okay, and we got before and after. We got to see the new quick AI mask tool. Most importantly, we're really happy with how quick that On1 responded to the community and the issues that we had with the removal of the AI masking bug and people who are having trouble with their video cards. Thank you for watching.